we came out with our meeting note taker as part of, again, our effort to turn a lot of data, unstructured data, into organized intelligence. So I'm getting data points from conversations in the meetings that I'm having. And I want to incorporate that into the bigger picture, the broader picture of what my client has. They've given me their statements. So I want to use that for my portfolio analytics, yet another data point. And so the note taker is a component of our features for really turning a lot of data and information, structuring it, and organizing it intelligently. So for the meeting note taker, I know we had some questions on who all do we integrate with? Who are the CRMs? Who do we integrate with? So from our homepage here, we've got our integrations. And this is where I might spend a little bit more time to show you the places of where stuff is. So bear with me if you've been using this for some time and this is like old news. I want to be mindful of the mixture of folks that we have on this call, so I can just show some of these little places. So I'm using Zoom, where we use Zoom here, but of course we have Teams that our meeting note taker can join, Teams meetings, and Google Meet. We integrate with Wealthbox, Redtail, and Salesforce. There are additional CRMs out there that we are working with to expand this list. We found when we started surveying our clients and our peers who are the CRMs that most folks are using. That's where we started. So that's why we've got Redtail, Wealthbox, and Salesforce currently. Like I said, we're going to have some additional ones added. And Jack's been phenomenal with keeping folks up to date with when we add additional features or new integrations and things like that. You can integrate your calendar as well. So I've got my Google Calendar integrated. You can also, Outlook is there as well. Kind of same steps to where you'll integrate with the meeting bots. And this is where we'll go into some settings for your meeting agent, kind of the basics of your meeting assistant, your note taker. So what we really like about having an AI meeting note taker is in the meeting, on the call, it's absorbing all of the information that we're sharing, what we're talking about, and it's analyzing it. And then after we end the call, we're going to get a summary of what that meeting was, follow-up tasks, some highlights, follow-up email. So what this does is it just saves you an incredible amount of time. On here, from the meetings that I've had, these were a mixture of 10, 15-minute meetings, 2-hour-long meetings, 30-minute meetings. I've saved a lot of time just in keying in my handwritten notes that I took while I was on the meeting and drafting a follow-up email or creating tasks to assign myself or other team members. So in here, this is where I can say, I want my meeting agent to join my meetings that I have on my calendar, on my Outlook calendar, on my Google calendar. And I want my meeting agent or meeting bot to join only the meetings that I'm the host of, or all meetings that are on my calendar. Jack was to invite me to one of his Zoom meetings or his Google Meet meetings. I'm going to be a participant, and my meeting agent is going to trail me like another participant automatically. So I like to have mine set up as just the meetings that I join that I'm the host of, because I have the option of inviting my meeting bot to any other meeting, even one that I'm hosting. It may be something that wasn't on my calendar. One of my clients called me up and said, could you meet me for a quick Zoom call? I'm trying to get logged into my dashboard on Schwab or Orion or something. So I might just send out a Zoom meeting link. I can copy that same meeting link in here and then invite the bot. It comes into my waiting room or whoever's meeting that I'm joining, their waiting room, if they have a waiting room turned on. These are Zoom kind of settings, but it comes onto the meeting like a participant. We have ours on this call recording. That is one of our meeting agents. So this one, again, I already have my calendar integrated. So if you wanted to enable things, we'd come in here. And if I am having an in-person meeting or a phone call meeting, I can just record the audio. So this would be how you would record your meeting so that you get that nice summary, all of the output that you would for a virtual meeting, but from audio. Sometimes you're not having a virtual meeting, it's in person or it's a phone call. So this is how you can start the recording there. So if it's a phone call, you might want to put them on speakerphone and say, hey, I'd like to record this call for my note-taking purposes. And then you can just start the recording. So with the recordings, now what? What does it look like? So I've got a couple of examples pulled up here. So I'm going to go to Spud Webinar, and I've got Spud in my Wealthbox CRM. Of course, we've also got Redtail and Salesforce, but Spud is in there. And I'm getting ready for a meeting with Spud. Maybe we had a quick phone call several weeks ago, and I'm preparing for my meeting. So what I can do here is pull in all the information that I may have entered. It's already in my CRM. So I can sync that from my CRM. I'm bringing in all of the information that I have on Spud webinar from Wealthbox. It's coming in here. It's going to provide me for a really nice summary of, okay, nuts and bolts. What do we have on Spud from our last meeting, or the details that I entered into the CRM? What are some questions that I might want to ask this prospect in our next meeting? Do I have some details, a quick financial summary? Am I missing anything in here? So I may want to ask them, do you have some specific strategies for tax optimization? I know that's what we talked about, was being mindful of taxes while also achieving your financial goals and philanthropic goals as well. Because we talked about philanthropy, I see that you've got some goals, anything you're most passionate about. So this is a great way to just get ready for a meeting. And especially if I've got a team, maybe I've got another advisor that I'm working with. They may have entered notes somewhere, had a call with this prospect, and we're managing this together. So this is just a great way for me to get a quick view and then have that meeting with Spud. So this would be Spud and I are having a new meeting. And so I want to invite the meeting agent, if I didn't already have it, joining the meeting automatically. And now we're going to have our meeting. So this is where I'll transition just a little bit let me grab another prospect here that I've already got some information for. We've already had our meetings. So fast forward a little bit. We just had our meeting. I just ended the call, and now YourStake has given me some information. And we are giving you the summary, the follow-up tasks, and the follow-up email that's geared towards a specific meeting type. So in this case, I have my meeting type sort of default set as to process as a discovery or intro meeting. I can change that to process this as just a regular client meeting, or process this as an internal meeting. So you have a lot of different things. And the output is going to change up a little bit because we're going to be providing details that are more specific to that particular meeting type. So this one, again, already processed as that discovery call. So here are my takeaways from that initial meeting. What was the client? What did we discuss? We discussed a little bit of the client's background. We just touched on their financial situation. anything that we may want to prioritize or challenges that may come up. Some key actions. Were there any decisions that one of us, either myself or the client or the prospect, was expected to make or mentioned on the call? Here's my to-dos. I have some to-dos and my client Peanut does as well. And then the full summary down here, broken down into personal details, preferences and goals, investment and retirement accounts. Again, this is a summary for a kind of advisor and client specific type of meeting. So we're seeing that type of information. And then the key information that was discussed, level of importance. I can change some of these. Can look at the details from that. And then I have my tasks. So from this meeting, not only do we get a summary, but we get tasks. And I can send these to my CRM straight to my client because I've got them connected here. And I can also change the status of this. Maybe it's in progress, maybe it's done already. I can edit the title. If I need to change this description a little bit, I certainly can. So we'll pretend I made some changes, save that. And I can do that for any of these. And then, so this is my clients at Wealthbox. Most of you probably only have one CRM, so you don't need to toggle between the two. But this one is with Wealthbox. So now I can sync those tasks. So these tasks went into Wealthbox. I can go in there and they will appear. I can push the general summary into Wealthbox as well. And then we're going to go into, again, I'm just using Wealthbox as today's, let me get logged in for today's purpose. So here's my tasks, and these were upcoming tasks. I can look at my completed tasks, but just from the home page, I can see where here's the things that just came in, right? So I had a note from Spud Webinar from earlier that I sent here. This one that I just sent just a few seconds ago, this was the full detail of it, and it's already being tied to my client in my CRM. So coming back here, you also get that follow-up email. You can copy this email, paste it into your email outbox, and send it off to the client. You can also download the full transcript of the meeting, should you need that for something. Can also download the recording of the video, download that file. Maybe I need to save it somewhere. So I have all of these options of kind of what I can do. In summary, what this meeting agent or meeting bot does is saves you a lot of time. It's going to join your meetings, take those notes while you're having the meeting, provide you a summary of what that meeting was about, and follow-up items or tasks, and a follow-up email. I don't know about the folks on this call, but I spend a lot of time with follow-up emails because each of my meetings is a little bit different. Each person that I'm having a conversation with, they're going to have different things that they're talking to me about and things that I need to follow up on. So having this canned response is not feasible. So this is really great having that follow-up email feature and the meeting prep. As I'm getting ready for my meeting, I know that I've had a call with Peanut Manning, who's one of my dogs, by the way. All of my dogs end up being prospects in here. Peanut is my oldest one. She's 18. She gets to be the star of this webinar. But Peanut and I had a lot of meetings. She's actually 18, but in here she's 24 years old. I should have put her, she's 18. I can actually put this down. But this is what we talked about previously. All of the notes and other things that I had in my CRM all coming together in here so I can get ready for my call that's coming up with her in 20 minutes. Just want to review this. Same thing with when I have my meeting with Spud Webinar. I know I've got a meeting coming up with them. Let me just quickly come to Spud over here, and I'm going to see what I've got for my previous details. Sorry about the Zoom screen moving around, folks. okay, what did we talk about? Now I'm ready for my meeting with Spud.